Hey guys, welcome to another episode with me, Shashank Udupa. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about simple financial planning hacks, right? I'm going to do a lot of series and episodes on different hacks that you can use or different rules that you need to follow when you're investing or when you're saving in your personal finance life, right? So today's episode is going to be about that, so stay tuned. Now, the first thing that I want to tell you guys now, first I'm going to talk about four different financial planning rules, but before that, we'll talk about the basic concept of how you can actually save. Now, if you want to structurize how you can actually save your money, we follow the simple 50-30-20 rule. Now, a lot of people who don't understand what the 50-30-20 rule is, basically whatever money you make in a month, say assume you make 1 lakh rupees in a month, right? Or it might even be 10,000 or 50,000. 50% of that goes into your needs. Now, what are your needs? These are your basic necessities that you require to survive. Okay, so 50% of that goes into your needs. You can't do anything. That's gone. Now, the remaining 30%, so the 50-30-20 rule, 30% of that goes into something known as wants. Now, what are wants? Obviously, I want to go travel. I want to go to Goa. I want to relax with my friends. I want to buy a beautiful gift for someone. I want to go for dinner. I want to go partying, right? So 30% is for that wants, and it's fine. I mean, you're earning hard, so you should enjoy. So 30% up rakh lo to enjoy, right? Now, the remaining 20% is for your savings. Now, this savings can obviously go into different formats, and I will talk about what those savings can be a little later and how you can automate these savings as well. So 20% of this should go into savings. Now, the in real life situation, right, 50-30-20 rule is very nice to understand and very nice to look at, but reality mein bolta hu, right, it is very difficult to follow the 50-30-20 rule because we don't keep a track of our savings, right? We keep a track of our expenses. No, we don't keep a track of our savings. No, both we don't do, right? We'll just spend as we like to spend, or we spend on the go. Now, what I would suggest you guys should do is, even if you can't do 20% savings, maybe do 10% savings, right? If you can't, if you, maybe you'll be like, Shashank, my needs zyada hai, my zarurat zyada hai, my wants are more, and I like a luxurious lifestyle. Fine, I'm not going to judge you. You can do all of that, but at least save 10%. Now, don't tell me you can't save 10% because that's just bad finance, right? Now, if you think that you are very bad in saving money, and how many of y'all, I mean, a lot of people would have the same issue, and I had the same issue when I was younger, or even now sometimes, right? Where I just can't save. Money comes in the bank account and I try to blow it off in the next 15-20 days. So what I've started doing is, as soon as my money comes into the bank account, first thing I do is do my 10% savings, and jo remaining paisa hai, that I use for my needs and wants to enjoy the entire month. So try to flip the script by doing 10% savings upfront, and then the remaining 90% or remaining 80% you can actually enjoy with whatever you want to do. So that's up to you, completely fine. Now, coming to the three financial tips, right? Now, what are these three financial tips that I want to talk about? The first one is, whatever phase you're in life, if you're younger, this is very good. If you're in mid-level, this is also good. And if you're slightly elder in age, this maybe you can't take really well. But what I would suggest is to start taking calculated risk. Now, I'm not talking about something like what you saw in the movies, like risk hai to ishq hai to kuch bhi karo. Nahi, aisa mat karo. Take calculated risk, right? Understand how things work, and don't always play it safe. I've seen a lot of people just investing in one kind of asset class and playing it very safe, and like, okay, you know what, meko paisa mil raha hai, inflation beat ho raha hai, so I'm very happy. Don't do that. Try to take little bit of extra risk. It's fine. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but if you do it in a calculated way, there's more often than not you will actually win, right? And this win can actually give you multi-fold returns as well. And when you don't have a lot of responsibilities in your life, try to take these bets as much as possible. But obviously, as I said, the important term here being calculated risk, right? Don't take stupid risk, take calculated risk. Now, there is a rule for this, okay? It's called the rule of 100. Now, what is the rule of 100? It says basically take your age and minus it by 100. So for example, if I'm 30, 100 minus 30 is 70. So it says 70% of my allocation should go into something that is something like stock market, right? Where the risk appetite is slightly higher, but I can take aggressive bets because I'm just 30 right now. If I'm 40 tomorrow, then only 60% of my allocation goes in the stock market. When I reach 50, only 50% of my allocation goes in stock market. So the rule of 100 comes very handy in such a situation when it comes to financial planning, right? Now, the second most important thing which I would tell everyone: do not take unnecessary bad debts, or do not take unnecessary debt. Debt is equal to loan. Now, loan includes, yes, I know you guys are smiling, loans includes also your EMI, right? Which you might have taken because there's this awesome phone swiveling around and there's beautiful ads coming up, and then Amazon and Flipkart and everyone else will start saying, no cost EMI, abhi kharid lo, right? Don't fall into it. Don't fall into that trap. I'll tell you why. Because in the early days of your life, or even in any time given in life, right, I would say let compounding interest work for you. You don't sit and work for compounding interest. Now, what happens is when you take a massive amount of loan very early in your life or even in the mid stages of your life, you are working hard to pay back that interest to someone. Rather, just chill, relax, and put all that money and save it somewhere and earn that interest for yourself. So now interest money is making money for you instead of you working hard to clear that money and clear that loan. And if you do have a loan, right, a lot of you guys might have already taken a loan like Shashank, yaar thoda der kar diya ye video mein. Don't worry. First thing, just see how you can prepay it and finish it off ASAP. Right? Finish it off as soon as possible, then you'll be fine. Now, if you do have unnecessary bad debts, pay your credit card bills on time if you use one, because your credit score improves a lot. Do not default on any EMI payments, whatever happens. Don't even say like ek din baad mein pay kar dunga, it's completely alright, kya ho hi jayega, right? No, always pay on time. And the third thing is avoid high interest loans. Right, you might see something that is very attractive at 16% interest and something at 12% interest, and you might be like, 4% interest mein nothing will happen to me. But 4% interest compounded over time will definitely affect you, so be careful on that. And finally, another thumb rule over here for EMIs. EMIs should ideally not be more than 20 to 30% of your monthly income. Should not be more than 20 to 30% of your monthly income. वो भी ज़्यादा है. I have zero debt. Right? In my life right now, I have zero loan, zero debt. That is the reason why I'm not going and investing heavy into buying a house, because I'm going to just save money and put maybe 80% upfront and only take 20% debt, right? Which I can clear off very fast. So I avoid this so that I can start making my money work for me and I start compounding my money, especially in this beautiful market right now. Third thing, maintaining an emergency fund. Now, we've spoken about emergency fund. What is an emergency fund? Let me clear and demystify all the problems that you might have. Emergency fund is a fund that you will keep aside, right? And this you can be invested. I'm not talking about keeping it in a fixed deposit. No, please don't do that. Keep it invested, and I'll tell you where you can invest, what tools you can use. There's a beautiful tool that works, right? You can invest this aside and do not touch it. Now, what this should be, it should be 6 months of your salary. It should also include your EMIs, which you have. The 20-30% EMI should also be included. Your insurance premium should be included in that. And your regular expenses should be included in that. 6 months, take it, keep it aside. This is, I'll tell you why you do this, right? Assume tomorrow, worst case scenario, right? You lose your job. Khatam ho gaya, job, you don't have a job. Now, ideally in India, after your notice period gets over and you're constantly finding another job, in 3 months you might be unemployed and then you'll get a job. But sometimes what happens if you go for 6 months, right? You might have 6 months of unemployment. So this comes and saves you, right? But if you feel, Shashank, no, 6 months is also a little scary, I want to keep 9 months and 12 months. I'm saying minimum keep 6 months, maximum go to 1 year. Right, 1 year ka unemployment. Maybe you're so frustrated and so stressed out that you want to take a nice trip to the Himalayas. Do that, but keep your emergency fund for that. If you ask me right now, what is my emergency fund with all my expenses that I have kept, assuming my monthly expenses, my emergency fund right now, which I have kept completely aside and invested right now, and it's growing as well, right, is approximately 23 months for me right now. So I can actually literally go jobless for 23 months and still maintain the lifestyle I'm maintaining right now. That is because I'm making that, and now every time I don't have to put more money into that, because that money is constantly growing. My emergency funds automatically going up without me actually touching it as well. And that is not something that you should take out. And I'll tell you that also. Now, finally, the fourth important thing that I think I didn't do a lot, which you guys should definitely do, is start learning about different investment opportunities when you're in the early stages, right? Start investing as soon as possible so that compounding obviously kicks in your favor. Talk about different asset classes. Don't over-index in one asset class. Now, what is asset class? Asset class is things like equity, right? Mutual funds, your gold is there, your stock portfolio is there. Different type of asset classes are there that you can invest. So ideally, I would say choose which asset class to invest. Don't just put all eggs in one basket. I know a lot of people do this, right? They put all their money into the equity market. So I would say equity is not bad, but keep a small allocation in other things. Hedge your portfolio very well, right? So you can do that. Maybe a little bit of investments into foreign funds. Possible. All this can be done, right? Now, I know that this might be difficult to think, and you'll be like, Shashank, there's so many plans, it's getting so confusing. And making a plan also is difficult, right? If you ask me, if I had to make a plan, I have to open my Excel sheets, make a big, massive plan. It can be scary, it can be complex, and more often than not, I'm not going to follow it, right? I won't use it at all, nor will I follow it. So these are some of the important investment techniques or investment tricks that you should use, and take advantage of tools that are there in the market. There are so many tools that are there in the market, and I mean one such tool I'll just talk about, right? There is a tool by ET Money that has recently launched. It's called ET Money Genius. I'll put the mock-ups here now. Basically, it's like a membership, right, which understands basically the user's needs. So it understands your needs, creates a personalized investment plan for you for all the different type of goals that you might have. You might have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So you can actually check this out. One is international equities, one is Indian investment equities, one is debt. So a lot of people who want to invest in debt can see that. And there's also gold investments that you can do, right? So all four it gives you. And what ET Money Genius does, it basically mixes these four different asset classes and creates like a nice, unique mutual fund of stock portfolios only for you. So basically you just automate the entire process. And apart from that, it'll just track you can track your entire portfolio also 24/7. And it also gives you these alerts where you might have to make changes or rebalancing that might have to happen in your portfolio as well, though depending on market conditions, because if you see how the market conditions is very up and down. So this might help achieve your financial goals, but be very clear whether it's mid-term, short-term, or long-term. Be very clear with your financial goals and use a tool like ET Money Genius that actually helps you do all of this, right? And what's the benefit of this? Now, in the stock market, everything's about returns, right? Everything's about percentage. And I keep saying this percentage matters the most. Now, if you're investing in something that is customized and catered to you, and it's giving you returns that are beating the benchmark index, what more do you need, right? And actually, I think ET Money also has that, where they beat the benchmark index. The customized portfolio that they have has actually beat the benchmark index as well. If I'm not wrong, basically a genius growth strategy that was created, their portfolio has given 18.23% average annual returns, which beats the benchmark index by 1.4x. So just try to do all of these things. Take advantage of tools like this. Try to become a genius when you're investing, and start downloading the ET Money app and just go check out ET Money Genius. I'm going to put all the links below as well. Right now, coming back to the video, let's recap. Now, what are the different things we spoke about? A quick recap or a quick refresh, right? One, we said do 50-30-20 rule. If 50-30-20 is not possible, at least 10% invest. Try to invest first instead of last. So as soon as you get your salary, invest 10%, number one. Second, learn to take calculated risks. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, Shashank, that is risky. This is risky. It's completely fine. Take that risk, but take a calculated one. Don't take a stupid one. Hedge your bets. Then we spoke about bad debt. So try not to take loans, and if you have it, clear it as soon as possible. We spoke about emergency fund being 6 months minimum, maximum 12 months emergency fund. And you can invest this emergency fund into the ET Money thing, right? You can invest this in the Genius plan. So that can also start compounding for you, because basically it's just a bunch of investment asset classes that you can invest. It's like someone's making a custom portfolio for you. And try to understand what are the different new emerging trends coming out in the market so you can invest. Now, I want to give you one personal thing over here, right? A personal story as well. Now, in the early days, when I knew the concepts of finance and I was trying to invest in the emergency fund, right? I was planning to invest 6 months emergency fund. Very similar, because I read this somewhere that 6 months is important. I said, let me invest 6 months emergency fund, and I did that. Now, what happened is I put all my money into that emergency fund and didn't save anything outside. Now, what happens here is tomorrow, if I have to go for a Goa vacation, or tomorrow, if I have to go out with my friends, I have to dip in my emergency fund, which is not correct. So I would suggest, if you really want to plan properly, if you have, say, 30,000 that you want to save, put 10,000 of that into emergency fund and 20,000 into a variable fund. Variable fund is basically you can pull out if you really require, right? But 10% you keep it in that emergency fund. My biggest problem that I did, which you should not do, is I put all the money into the emergency fund. So tomorrow when I had to go for a trip, I kept removing from that emergency fund, which is very wrong. So I spoiled my compounding on that front. And another thing is, do not dip into that savings. And I did this one more mistake, which was very early on in my life, and I've spoken about this vocally in my other videos, that when I was working as an investment banker, I had a lot of money. I started buying a credit card. I bought a credit card which was almost one time. I mean, my salary was 50,000, so my credit card limit was approximately 1.2 lakhs. I don't know why they gave me such a big credit limit. Maybe because my account was linked to someone else, but I got a massive limit, and I put that limit to the maximum edge. I didn't pay on time. My credit score got spoiled, and my monthly interest was 7,000 rupees, right? Leave paying back my entire bill, my monthly interest was 7,000 rupees, and it was very difficult because I had to pay one shot everything back on time, and it was very difficult. So after that, I use credit cards, but I use it in a very smart way, and I try to pay it as soon as I use it from my debit card itself. So these are some small tips, tricks that I use when it comes to personal finance, and which you should definitely start using as well. And if you feel that this video has helped you a lot, all I want is a good like on the like button. So just click on the like button, a very beautiful comment on what we can do next, what are the different videos that you can talk about. If you're using any kind of say for example personal finance hacks, I would love to know that as well, right? Because our Swiggy Zomato cost now is very high, so let's start helping each other out as a community. Again, if you like this video, click on the like button, share and subscribe. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care guys, see you, bye.